Hi, and thank you for joining me for today's process video. And today I'm documenting a photo of myself and Amelia when we went to see Taylor Swift last year at Anfield in Liverpool. And the photo is printed in 4x6, and I've just trimmed down one of the sides slightly, so it's about 4x5 probably. So I wanted to create a mixed media background, and I'm using Lindy's Magicals. So I've just spritzed some water onto my tonic glass mat, mixed media mat, and I'm just using the packaging technique to smush that all over the page. So I wanted the photo to sit in the middle on the left hand side, and then I wanted to build a cluster at the top left and a cluster at the bottom right. So you can see that's roughly where I'm positioning the mixed media, and I'm just smearing that all over with the packaging and hoping that it's more or less dry before I come in with this stenciling. So this stencil I think is a Vicky Boutin stencil. It's a 6x8, and I've just used my picked raspberry ink to smear that through the stencil to create these chevron designs. I'm not being too precise. I want it to be lighter in some places and darker in others, and that's roughly how the layout's going to sit. So you saw I put the photo there. So I'm just going to add some mattes. I decided not to use white for the first matte. I'm going to use this lilac purple, and I'm using Shimelle's Main Character Energy to document this. The colours just go so perfectly with Taylor Swift, so that's why I've chosen these. So you can see I've got my edge distresser there, and I'm just distressing the first matte. I've gone all over the photo for the first matte, and then the subsequent ones will be offset. So I pulled out this beautiful purple with the gold foiled stars. This is from the paper pad from the collection. I really like the paper pads, quite often have the foiled effect, and when you're doing concert photos and things, this works really, really nicely. So just distressing the edges again of that mat, and then I'll go on to the third piece, and you'll see that in a second. That's going to be a navy blue, tone on tone, so it's got like a tealy blue on the dark blue, and I'm just working with the shape that I've got, just trimming it down slightly because I don't want it quite that long. And then that will be the third mat, and then there's one more to go once I've got this one distressed. Just building up these mats, and that's going to be the main part of the layout. I wanted the photo to be the focal point, so just building up layers behind that works really nicely. So you can see here, again offsetting, and then just trimming out that with my scissors to create a nice mat to go behind. So it doesn't go quite up to the top of the photo, but it does sit below. So all these mats are offset against one another, and it just creates a really nice block behind that photo. And I've tried to leave out the greens on this layout. I wanted to focus in on the pinks and lilacs and blues. I think they just work really nicely with this particular photo. So I'm enjoying my trims at the moment. So I've pulled out this circle chain lace from Hey Little Magpie, and I'm just going to add a big block of that to the left-hand side. This is the black one. We've got it in white as well. Cut it a little bit too big, so I am going to trim a little bit off, and I'm moving that photo down just a jot. It's a little bit too high because I know I want to create that cluster in the top left. So I'm just going to trim 3 of those circles off, and I'm much happier with the length of that circle chain lace now. So just using my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive to get that stuck down onto the layout, and then I am going to bring another piece of lace in to overlap onto that. You'll see in a second. So there's that piece down, and it's just touching the edge of the photo. And then I'm going to bring in the natural circle lace here and add another layer of that. And again, I'm going to offset it so it goes slightly lower than the black piece, but both at the top and bottom. Once again, using my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive just to get that stuck down. Just adding dots along the dots of lace to make sure it sticks down properly. There we go. So now I wanted to bring some kind of title into the right hand side. I didn't really have a lot to say. I've done photos of this event previously, so they're all going in the same album, so they'll be next to one another. So I didn't need to do a big title saying that it was Taylor Swift at Anfield or anything like that. But I just spotted this card that said snapshot, and I thought that worked really nicely. So rather than adding it as a card, I decided to fussy cut and just using it as a title there. And I think that works really beautifully. So now that's down, I wanted to add a couple of ribbon loops to the left hand side of this cluster. So I've got this lovely blue grosgrain that was from some flowers that I received recently, and the black and white gingham that's going to be added on top. So just adding those to the left hand side, and they're being tucked in behind the paper layer on the left there. So now I spotted this what's it called, branding strip, I suppose. It's in a wood grain from one of the paper pad pieces. So I'm just adding that to the right. I was playing and contemplating one of those rainbows, but I wasn't happy with the colours. It brought a bit too much green in, so I didn't like that. So I decided to bring in this floral cluster. This is one that I fussy cut from one of the papers. I will play about with that a bit. It moves slightly more to the right in the end. And then these lovely word phrases, I'm just going to tuck this one in on the left, and it says you are a limited edition. So that works nicely there. And you can see all the foiling because it's from the project pad. I really like that. Not project pad, sorry, the paper pad. It's all foiled. So that circular piece is from the Hey Little Magpie printables that goes with this collection. And then that butterfly has been fussy cut from one of the papers again. So I just wanted to use this phrase which says, happy people are the prettiest. I decided to bring it down below that title. I just think it works a bit nicer there. I'll find something else to add up at the top shortly. So just getting all this glued down now. I did bring that blue label in, but in the end it doesn't make the final layout. I decided that it's better without. I had something else instead, you'll see in due course. And I've got that lovely real life circular piece, again from the printables from Hey Little Magpie, that goes with the main character energy collection from Shimelle. So that label piece I'm actually going to add to the top here, and I'll just do some journaling on that. And then I need to work out what to put up at the top here. So first of all, I find this phrase that says chase after your dreams. And then there's another one in blue that says beautiful, and that works really nicely just underneath. You'll see that shortly. I try this green one, but again, it's just too much green for this layout. I didn't want to bring the green in, but here's the beautiful one. So just trimming that down. I'll cut a little bit off the left-hand side. I want it to be smaller than that purple piece, so it's just trying to make it so that that fits neatly in there. And there we go. Just moving that butterfly over ever so slightly to fit in there. And then I'm going to come in with some stamps. So first of all, I've got These Memories collection from Hey Little Magpie, and I'm just using this set of 3 chevrons. So I start by using the, what's it called? It's the duck egg blue. And I've just put that down, but it doesn't have enough of an impact. You'll see there, it really sort of fades into the background. So I then come back in with the pink that I used at the beginning and stamp that down, and that has much more of an impact, and I'm much happier with that. And I will outline that in black in due course. I just want to get some more stamping down. So now I'm bringing in a much paler pink, and this is the, what's it here, Spun Sugar. And just using a little, they're like sparkly bits, I suppose, from the stamp set. So I've done it in Spun Sugar, and then I've brought in the chipped sapphire, so that navy blue, and I'm just adding some more of those around the page. And that really creates such an impact, bringing all this ink in around the page. And then the arrow from the same set, and again in the chipped sapphire, and just adding that in a couple of places. All pointing towards the photo. And then I'm going to come in with the directions stamp and the little set of arrows, and I'm just stamping that in black soot, and again just around the page, some on top of the pattern papers and some on straight onto the white cardstock. and making sure that I add it to all the clusters as well. I think this is the last bit, yep. And then here I am with my black gel pen, just going around those chevrons just to make them really pop. And it does make a big difference. And I don't know whether it's because I've got my black glasses on that sort of matches the photo really nicely, but it just worked. Sometimes you can just see how things need to be, and that's what I wanted to do. So just on that label I'm putting waiting for Taylor, because this was before she'd come onto the stage. And then a little charm that my friend Julia had given me with TS on. So I'm just going to add that with some wax twine, and I just glue it to the page and then staple that wax twine to the left hand side. Just threading that through. And there's the glue. Just going to staple that down so that it holds it tight onto the layout. And then finishing off with some gold splatters with some gold watercolour paint. And that's the layout done. I hope this has provided some inspiration. I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas time. It's really nice having this time off around this time of year, isn't it? And just relaxing and being with friends and family. So I hope you're enjoying your time, and I shall see you again very soon. Bye.